Hey, welcome back. I've got another video for you where I'm going to be taking a look at a product that just came in the last couple of days, and it's one that I've been waiting on for just about exactly 2 months. So a little frustrating that has taken this long to get here, but it's here now. So let's talk about the Lores of Magic reference card pack for Warhammer The Old World. So this is basically just a deck of cards, and it comes in a nice little box. It matches all the other Warhammer The Old World stuff with the logo on blue. Cool little wizard dude. You can tell the background is a map, which is nice. It's not just blue. You can't really see much there, but yeah, it looks good. It's a nice little box. It's damaged already because it's cardboard, and even though it was nice and wrapped up in the box, it just got banged up. So that was a shame, but you know what? Honestly, it's just a box, and what matters is what's inside. And based on my knowledge of GW cards, the quality is good, which I'll get to in just a moment. So inside, there are going to be 56 spell reference cards, and these are for the 8 lores of magic: battle magic, demonology, dark magic, elementalism, high magic, illusion, necromancy, and war magic. So as they say here, these cards provide a handy reference and reminder of the different spells the wizards in your armies know. These are not necessary. 100% you can play this game without these. But I would suggest, if you don't want something like this, you really should still go and print something out, because it's not beneficial to anybody to play the game flipping back and forth in the rule book to go through lores of magic on top of any other rule stuff that you're looking up throughout the course of the game. So yeah, these are expensive. I think they're like $45 Canadian. Someone can correct me if that's not the price, but I'm pretty sure they were 45 Canadian. I didn't pay that much. I went for a third-party seller, got a discount, and still paid too much for what this is. But I'll get to it in a minute why I think it's okay in the long run. But basically, I expect I'm going to have these for many years, as long as this edition is current and active, and as long as I'm playing it. I mean, even if this edition dies, right now I have everything I need to play for ever with it. I might go back to 8th edition. I don't know how that would happen, or why. I don't know what would happen if Old World died. Maybe I'd go back to 8th, is what I'm saying. But at least for some time, my friends and I think would stick with this. 8th edition being just a fun alternative. 6th edition also being there. But yeah, way off topic. So anyways, let's take a look at what's inside. Yeah, I got them all. So again, it's just a cardboard box. Nothing too rigid about it, but it will protect your cards, I am sure. And yeah, they're just nice cards. They tell you everything you need to know. They're well laid out. And every single lore is going to give you 6 cards that cover your main spells. This is the lore of necromancy, and actually I'm going to do this the other way so that we can actually see all the numbers. Get them laid out here now that I've mucked up my order. I put these in backwards after looking at them, I guess. So yeah, you get 6 cards that have your main lore spells, and then you get one more that's your signature spell. If you don't know how magic works, you basically figure out what lore your wizard uses, and then you get a certain number of spells based on their level and some other stuff that might give them more. And once you know which spells you're taking, which you figure out by just rolling some dice and checking the numbers that come up, and then you get those cards. But you can also swap one of them to this card. This is the signature spell, and again, you just basically can say, I want this instead of 5, and that's all you do. So that's really all that's going to happen here. I'm not going to go through all the cards right now, all the lores, specifically because that's not what I want to do here. This is supposed to be a very quick video where I just basically look at the cards themselves, the quality, which I'm going to say it's good. This is GW cards. They are overpriced, but they are quality. They do last. There's nothing on this that's going to catch for the most part. Nice rounded corners that aren't going to get all bent and dog-eared. Yeah, just decent cards. Nice piece of artwork on the back. And overall, nothing wrong with having these. Again, you could do a cheaper job, and I would definitely recommend that for anybody who doesn't want to drop $40 on some cards. They're really not worth like 80 cents a piece or whatever it works out to be. But again, quality's good, and I'm going to say the reason I feel quality's good is because they feel like these. This is the Battle Magic cards that we got at the start of 8th edition. That's when I bought this. So I've had this deck for, let's say 14 years, something like that. And once again, cool wizard guy. Now this box was probably a little less sturdy than this one, if I recall it. It was not as firm of a cardboard that I as far as I can remember. I haven't seen a new one of these in many, many years, and obviously I don't have one that's even remotely close to being new. And now my cards all get stuck inside. I mean, this box is, it's lived a long, hard life, but at the same time, the cards are immaculate. Other than the marks I've put on them, like some of them I have numbered because I use them a lot, and that was one thing this was actually missing that this deck has fixed. No numbers. But overall, it's the same number of cards, or close enough, and they do the exact same thing. But that doesn't matter, because what matters, besides the fact that they're GW cards and they're still in good shape, is that they're the same. I would say that this is a little weaker in structure at this point, but I think that's more just because, again, these are very old. They've been in basements. They've been out in the weather as I've, moved around with these things. These eventually will get slightly softer, I'm sure, between storage and just being used. And I think that when I first got these were stiffer than they are now. And you can see it's the same, the same cut, the same shape. There's no real difference between these, except I think these have better backs because they have a wizard for each lore specifically. That's a better use. And I do actually like the color better. This is done like an old parchment. But these are the exact same as these. These are two decks of Magic cards that are done in the exact same style of, shape and cut. They have the same material. I would say even the same finish. And I think that's important to note because I played a lot of Warhammer Fantasy, and I have never played a match where either myself or my opponent, I think, didn't use these. At least not very many, because these are just really common lore. Somebody uses these outside of orc players. I don't think I ever really saw a game where these didn't get used, because I was the guy that had these, and because these have held up so well over the years. 56. It's the exact same number of cards because it's the same deal. This was 6 lore spells plus a signature for each one. Because these have held up so well through 14 years of gaming, hundreds of games that these have been around for, and multiple times they've just been out while I look through them. Again, well loved, well used, and still, other than the box, in great shape. And I mean, this box is not really protecting the top anymore, as you can see, and that's not that bad. So if these have survived that well, I honestly think that these are fine. These are going to be still playable, in 15, 20 years, as long as I take care of them, nothing, ridiculous happens to them. And that's really the point of this video. I just want to share this because anybody who is on the fence about whether or not they want these cards, if it's the price alone, this is just down to your finances and your choice of how you spend your money. But if you're willing to spend the money and you just weren't sure if it was worth it, I do think quality-wise, they're really high. I will complain about GW books. I will complain about even GW miniatures at times, as much as they've gotten much better. There are still problems. Their cards, honestly, I've never had an issue with any card from GW except for, there was a set of these, paper cards that came out for, 7th edition 40K Apocalypse or something. They were, these black paper cards, and they were trash. Those are the only weird cards I've ever gotten from GW. Everything else has just been really high quality. And these are no different. I think that these are going to be in my collection for, the next 20 years, like I said. And if you are interested in these and you were just, again, concerned about the quality, there's nothing wrong with it. I haven't heard of any major typos or just any typos. And maybe they're there, and that would suck if they are. But again, I'm more concerned actually about, do these get changed through wording over the coming months and years with erratas? That would be the only actual problem with owning these, is if GW does do a lot of major changes to the Magic lores, and these start becoming invalidated in terms of how they're written. And even though it's an easy fix, I just take a label, sticker label, and just cover it and write in the new correction. It won't look as good. It won't be as nice as just bringing these out, for a decade and a half, and knowing that everything's fine on these very old cards. It would not be as nice to see these covered in stickers and fixes and whatnot. But I'm also not just going to keep buying these either. So if it happens, it happens. Anyways, I'm going to stop just talking there. This video's as long as it needs to be for this topic. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any thoughts or comments, you can leave them down below. And as always, you guys have a great day.